Hello and welcome to Thoughtful Little Time Bombs. You are most welcome if you're returning. Thank you very much for your continued investment of your time. And if this is your first visit, then you are most welcome. And I hope you'll remain intrigued enough to listen to the end and then maybe to return or even listen to videos in the past. Thoughtful Little Time Bombs is based on one simple daft idea. I throw ideas at you. Sometimes they make sense now. Otherwise, they may make sense at a future date when your unconscious decides that's useful. So something that may make no sense to you now may well make sense to you when the situation changes or circumstances changed. So if you gather anything from this video, then please feel free to like and also to subscribe and share. There may be something useful here for your friends, your colleagues, somebody you feel needs a bit of advice. So anyway, without further ado, let's get on with it. So let's get going. Up and above us and around us at the moment, we've got aeroplanes, one or two. They're practicing, they're flying around. There's a little aerodrome over there, part of the military base, miles away, for landing and takeoff. Far more of them these days, but we live in troubled times, and all armed forces are continually in practice in case of conflict. So we have to live with that reality and plan our lives accordingly. Right. I now have two nationalities. I became a citizen of another country nearby because my grandfather was born there. The reason I did this was because after Brexit, I felt that I still had to be a member of the European Union. And the only way I could do that, seeing as Britain decided foolishly to leave the European Union, was to become a citizen of another country and thereby get a passport and thereby regain all the rights I had lost as a European citizen, which I had before. Hasn't changed much my life, but then again, I'm not a farmer, and my personal economy doesn't depend on it. So compared to other people who have made a decision to leave, I'm fine, thank you very much. So I can go to Europe with exactly the same rights as I had before. Right. The reason I say all of that is because there's an Irish joke, and it's an Irish sensible joke. And it is simple. A person goes up to another person and says, "Can you tell me how to get to a certain place?" And the person thinks and goes, "Well, I wouldn't start from here." Fine, terrible joke, amusing possibly, is that this is where we are. This is where we have to start. We may be ready, we may not be ready. We may have made great plans about how we're going to work towards achieving our dream, our objective, whether it's building a shed, whether it's building a house, whether it's walking up a mountain, whether it's traveling abroad, having a nomadic lifestyle, or writing, or becoming a poet, or learning to dance, all manner of things, is that here is where we start. If we have an idea and we want to realize it and we have great enthusiasm for it, we always start here. And then we have to think in terms of what comes next. And what we have is energy plus time equals luck. And luck is, I'm not talking about luck as defined loosely, lazily by many people. Time we've talked about before, and it's a simple one. We are always running out of time. There is no way we can generate more time. Doesn't matter how we live our lives, we cannot regenerate more time. I think there's only one way of generating more time or making time last longer, and that's to be bored out of your skull. So I have no intention of doing that, and I'm sure you have no intention of doing that. There is no profit there. And we don't want profit in a financial sense. Well, possibly not. But we want to achieve certain ends, and time is always against us. And maybe we should have started working on this project years ago, 10 years, 15, 20 years ago. But now we feel that desperation, and time is passing, and we know it is finite. We know we can do nothing other than just use it to our best advantage. That's it. Energy. Energy is a level of energy we must have in order to work hard within the time period that we have left, or more specifically, in the time that we have set aside each day to work towards a particular objective. So energy is very vitally important, and as opposed to time, energy can be regenerated, but you must make sure you rest properly. 7 or 8 hours a night, apparently. I wish I could do that. And the other one is exercise and eat well. Those are quite sensible, simple things to do, and so we should be pursuing them. I vary from time to time. Sometimes I eat well, I sleep well, and I exercise well. Other times I struggle. But consistently over a period of time, if you look at the averages, it's just minor blips when I struggle. But on the whole, I'm consistent in that I do my best to eat well, I do my best to sleep, and I do my best to do exercise to become stronger, but not muscular, too strong. So therefore, I have the energy to use in the time that's available to me, time I've set aside for pursuing a certain objective. Then we have to plan. So that one thing we don't want to do is waste the energy that we have, and worse still, waste the time that we have. Therefore, we need to plan. Therefore, we need to have a point beginning. And as I said, you'll have to start here. You can't start 30 years ago. You have to start here. So if you apply yourself efficiently, time-wise, and efficiently using your energy at its best to achieve something, whether it's building a shed or whether it's walking a mountain or whatever, the list of things, and it's an endless list. It depends on what each person wants and should be striving for. As I say, it's time to become paranoid about time, and I'm talking healthy paranoid, as in we're not going to let other people waste our time. We're not going to furnish them if they are there only to waste our time, to take up our time, to steal our time, to steal our ideas and such. So if you work efficiently with good energy in the period of time that you have, because you've planned, then you can become lucky. Now, people's definition of luck, I think, veers towards supernatural, wibbly-wobbly, that you have to make no effort at all and magical things will happen. I gave up believing in that years ago when I realized that doesn't happen. In my life, it doesn't happen. And what I realized in small ways is that if I put effort in and work efficiently, I can have little victories, sometimes get bigger victories. But for me, by this age, this grand old age, I now realize that luck is probability. People think in terms of lottery. Well, that's not wibbly-wobbly luck. That is coincidence, that you've chosen a set of numbers that the machine throws out. For me, luck is probability, and it's simple. I work efficiently, I work with a plan, and I use the time I have as best as I can, and energy as well, and I have a better chance of succeeding. It is that simple. If you don't plan, if you don't do your best with the energy and the time you've got, then you will achieve nothing. You need to be desperate enough, I suppose, but you need to be calm while you're doing it and efficient. So there are things that we need to learn, possibly. New skills we think we need to learn, new attitudes, new concentration, whatever we feel we need. But the thing is that most of the skills, most of the competencies that we actually need, we've got. We've had them over many years, we've used them many, many times, and we've forgotten about them because life can be busy. But we have contingencies in our unconscious mind, in our memory, that we have used before. And we only ever encounter them these days when all of a sudden something happens with I can do it this way. For instance, if you have a memory, a visceral, hands-on memory, I don't know, building a wall with your grandfather, grandparents, goes for girls and for boys, these days, thankfully, is that you will have a visceral, reality-based feeling for that brick and for that cement and for the voice of the person advising you. That's a visceral memory. That's a muscle memory. And we have many of such things in our unconscious. They're deep in our memories, but they are accessible. And that's the wonderful thing about the unconscious mind, is that it actually will access these things when it's needed. And as I say, thought of little time bombs is quite simply about throwing ideas out there that may make sense to you now, but certainly over a period of time may well make sense to you. So you already have the skills, and the unconscious mind keeps hold of them. It's true. We've talked about time. Nothing is more precious than time, and we should be making sure that we are jealous of giving any of our time to other people who don't deserve it. To those we love, to those people who are precious to us, then we should always make time. And the other thing to remember is that if we succeed with our objectives, then there's a good chance that we can share that joy, or we can share the benefits, or maybe we can share material stuff with people who are precious to us. And people are precious to us, from my point of view, are people who allow me the time, and they don't impose themselves. They don't try and steal my time. They don't gossip. They are there when I need them. And the situation is, if they were to turn up suddenly, which is they're unlikely to do, so it's a special case. If they turn up unexpectedly, then I drop everything. They're that important to me. Time with them is precious. People don't come here unless they want something, they need something. Nobody else knows about this place. So you've got to manage your time. You've got to manage your energy. Thereby you increase the luck that's available to you. And you need to do things in your own terms. So there are times when you just need to go dark. I think that's the Black Ops phrase. We just go dark. You go under the radar and you focus entirely on it. And people who are important to you will understand. And people who do not understand, then maybe you need to reflect on that relationship. If it's that needy, then you will continue to be needy. Always keep an eye on the clock. And I'm not talking about paranoid, but I'm talking sensibly paranoid, in that you set yourself things to do, tasks to do, and objectives to achieve. It's important that when you start a job, that you finish it. And if you set the job for today, that you finish it today. Sometimes we can be incredibly efficient. Sometimes we can do things, difficult things, easily. And then on other days, it will take enormous effort and much more time to achieve things, the same end. So something can be done in 3 hours. On other days, God knows why, it'll take about 5-6 hours to do. We just cannot make sense of it. Or there's a tiredness, or we're distracted, or there are noises around us that distract us. Anyway, sometimes it takes longer to achieve something simple that we did yesterday in far less time. Pursue it. If you're struggling today, keep pushing, get it done today. You know, you need to stop at some time. But if you possibly can, not to the point of exhaustion, but at least finish what you set out to do today, then tomorrow you can start on something new. Each decision you make, each step you take from A onwards towards an objective, you will learn, you build in new contingencies. If this happens, then I do this. If that happens, I do that. People think of luck. Another way of looking at luck is ducks in a row. And if you can get 15 ducks in a row, a duck would be a door opening. And instead of the door being over there, the door is over there. And it's in a straight line. Whereas life is, you know, the gates could be through a memory in the past. I point back. Or it could be something that we haven't worked out yet. But the doors to take us forward, to take significant steps in achieving what we want to do, they're not straightforward. But let's say, for instance, if you get 10 ducks in a row, what will you learn? Well, you go to the first door, straight on to the door, and you will probably reach a point, yes, this is what I was after. The question is, have you learned anything? Because if you then have another project, you've gone through all these doors straight away and you've learned nothing. All you've done is walk up to the door, push the door open and move through. Whereas if the doors are all over the place, they don't even exist. They don't even exist take a step towards them, and it materialize as your understanding grows, as your thinking becomes more efficient, as your use of time becomes more efficient. You learn enormously, so that when you've stepped through that door, you then know vaguely where the next door is and vaguely what steps you need to take to get there. And then the next door you've gone through becomes far more efficient, becomes far more straightforward. And all the time you're learning contingencies that these are probably closer to the surface of the unconscious than the deep ones because they're active and you're using them now. Yeah, don't kill yourself. Do not kill yourself. So work hard and do your very, very best to finish today so you can start on something new tomorrow. So, understanding of time, its preciousness, necessity for appropriate energy levels is how you generate luck. And it's a simple equation. A plus B equals C. Time plus energy equals luck. But we're not talking about luck, we're talking about probability. And growing wise as we pursue the pathways that we see open ahead of us, and pathways we frequently have to create ourselves. As I say, most of the things we need in life to pursue objectives we've already got. And the older you get, you should please don't spend time in front of the television. You may occasionally learn something. I'm not sure what, unless you're watching technical programs, how to manufacture things as such. But generally, if you're just watching adventures and thrillers and on various streaming platforms, then you're not really going to learn much and you're going to waste time. And then you're going to go to bed and think, I should have used my time better. Time passed too quickly and I've got nothing to show for it. So luck is specific to the effort you put into it and the time you use. Hard work is vitally important. You set up contingencies, it gets easier. Every door you aim for, it gets easier, and you must work hard along the way. There is always a solution out there. There is nothing that if you can dream it up, you can make it happen. So there is always a solution there. There is always a contingency or a half contingency, something that helps you move forward, or at least moving in a direction. Whereas you can learn the skills, learn the experience, get the knowledge in order to move forward. We develop a base of knowledge, a database of knowledge, and each one of these, as I said last time, becomes a shortcut. So the distance between doors might be great. However, the amount of work you need to do to get there is less every single time. There's always a solution. There's always a solution. So be a friend to yourself. Be a friend. Look after yourself. Eat well, rest well, plan well, work efficiently. Give meaning to your life in this particular sense. Be a good friend to your friends, the precious ones, those who are part of your motivation. Maybe that's how you should think about it. The people most important to you are those people who are part of your motivation for working hard in order to achieve what you want to achieve, to increase the probability of a certain outcome. And hopefully they will benefit from it. And the other one is be a friend to your dreams. You've had them a long time. They've been waiting. There is a list that you should have at the end of your life. These are the things I've done. These are things I'm proud of. Ducks in a row don't matter. All you need is 2 ducks. Starting point and the first move you make. You will step forward, you will make an error. It's trial and error, and you become more skilled as you go ahead. But you must start. Start now. You wouldn't start from here. Well, here is where you are, so you better get a move on and start now, because time is against you, and as the Stoics say, without much emotion. You may well soon be dead by accident, by ill health. Hopefully, it's long life and it'll just wear out. I've known people who have lived into their 90s, and in the end it just faded away. And I love that thought. I find it very hippie-ish. Just fade away and melt into the universe, melt into time, melt into memories. So, as ever, the aeroplanes have gone. I time it badly. It's not that I time it badly, they're just so busy. So it doesn't matter when you do something, the aeroplanes come back. I wish them good fortune. So be well, look after each other. As I say, be a friend to yourself, be a friend to those precious to you. And importantly, be a friend to your dreams. Help them be realized. You take care. Don't waste time. Look after yourselves. And, oh yeah, subscribe. Anything in there you like, tick the like and share. Subscribe, like and share. Deeply grateful to you. Help the channel. And I'll see you again. Take care. Bye-bye. Somewhere.